Okay, brother, maybe we can start now. Teman-teman kita bisa mulai sekarang ya. Kita Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, wait. Okay, good morning everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Nggak apa-apa ya, saya coba pakai bahasa Inggris sedikit-sedikit ya. Eh, Kalau nggak ngerti nanti bisa chat GPT lah untuk Google Translate ya. It's okay.
Pak
Eh,
Randy, nanti ada
Gimana?
MC-nya. MC-nya si Zahra Bu lagi disiapkan. Nanti Ibu jadi
Oh,
jadi
oke,
jadi moderator.
oke, oke, oke. Padahal udah siap nih. Jadi, oke, kalau ada. Oke, bisa dimulai aja berarti sama Zahra.
Tes. Baik, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena atas rahmat dan karunia-Nya kita dapat berkumpul secara virtual dalam kegiatan webinar hari ini. Yang terhormat Bapak Taryo STMT selaku Ketua Program Studi Teknik Elektro UGJ, yang kami hormati Ibu Juju Juhairia SST MT selaku Sekretaris Prodi Teknik Elektro UGJ, yang kami hormati Ibu Rindi Wulandari SST MSI selaku dosen Prodi Teknik Elektro UGJ sekaligus moderator pada hari ini. Yang kami hormati narasumber kita pada hari ini Bapak Sakshrey, yang kami hormati selaku para dosen-dosen yang telah hadir pada acara hari ini serta seluruh peserta webinar yang berbahagia. Pada kesempatan ini kita akan memperoleh wawasan mengenai perjalanan akademik dan profesional dari dunia pendidikan menuju dunia industri, khususnya pengalaman di EDC serta berbagai aktivitas penelitian yang telah dijalani oleh narasumber kita. Saya Prisanti Rahma Oleh Samsyah, selaku MC yang akan memandu jalannya acara pada hari ini, mengucapkan selamat datang kepada seluruh peserta. Semoga kegiatan ini dapat memberikan manfaat dan inspirasi bagi kita semua. Sebelum memasuki acara inti, izinkan saya membacakan susunan acara webinar pada hari ini. Pertama, pembukaan. Kedua, menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya dan himne teknik. Ketiga, sambutan-sambutan. Keempat, pemaparan materi oleh narasumber. Kelima, sesi tanya jawab dan diskusi. Keenam, penyerahan sertifikat kepada narasumber. Ketujuh, dokumentasi bersama. Dan kesembilan, penutup. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, mari kita buka acara ini dengan mengucapkan basmalah bersama-sama. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Memasuki acara selanjutnya yaitu menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya dan himne teknik. Beranjak ke acara selanjutnya yaitu sambutan oleh Ketua Himpunan Mahasiswa Teknik Elektro atau yang mewakili kepada Ramania Ajahra, saya persilahkan.
Oke, tes. Tes, tes. Tes, tes.
Sorry. Could I start now, right? Sister Indi?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. I will call you now
Okay.
if we start. Tes, tes.
Mohon maaf karena ada kendala di laptop saya. Jadi saya akan berbicara lewat itu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang terhormat Bapak Aryo STMT selaku Kaprodi Teknik Elektro UGJ. Kemudian yang saya hormati Ibu Juju Heriah SST MT selaku Sekretaris Prodi Teknik Elektro UGJ. Yang saya hormati Bu Tinjulan dari SST MSI selaku dosen Prodi Teknik Elektro UGJ sekaligus moderator pada hari ini. Kemudian yang saya hormati Andika Prasetya, Ketua Himpunan Mahasiswa Teknik Elektro yang hari ini sedang berkendala untuk hadir, serta seluruh peserta webinar yang berbahagia. Puji syukur kita panjatkan atas kehadiran Tuhan Yang Maha Esa karena hari ini kita dapat mengikuti webinar bertema My Journey from Academia to Industry, Experiences at AEDC in Research dengan pemateri yang sangat luar biasa. Sedikit yang akan saya sampaikan kepada seluruh peserta, manfaatkan kesempatan ini sebaik mungkin dengan aktif berdiskusi dan menggali ilmu dari pengalaman yang akan dibagikan oleh narasumber. Kemudian untuk Mr. Sakshay, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Sakshay for taking the time to share his valuable knowledge, experiences, and insights with us today.
We hope this event provides inspiration and a realistic picture of the journey from academia to industry and research. Akhir kata, saya mengucapkan selamat mengikuti webinar. Semoga kegiatan hari ini berjalan dengan lancar dan memberikan manfaat bagi kita semua. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, terima kasih atas sambutannya, Rahmania Zahra. Sambutan selanjutnya akan disampaikan oleh Ketua Program Studi Teknik Elektro kepada Bapak Taryo STMT. Saya persilahkan.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Frisanti. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang kami hormati narasumber webinar pada hari ini, Mr. Saksrey, para dosen, mahasiswa, serta seluruh peserta webinar yang berbahagia. Good morning, Mr. Saksrey. On behalf of the Electrical Engineering Study Program of Universitas Gunung Jati, we would like to express to our deep gratitude for your willingness to join us today. Puji dan syukur, marilah kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah SWT karena atas rahmat dan karunia-Nya kita dapat berkumpul dalam kegiatan webinar yang diselenggarakan oleh Himpunan Mahasiswa Teknik Elektro Universitas Gunung Jati dengan tema My Journey from Academy to Industry, Experience at EDC and in Research. Atas nama program studi Teknik Elektro Universitas Gunung Jati, saya menyampaikan apresiasi dan terima kasih yang sebesar-besarnya kepada narasumber yang telah berkenan meluangkan waktu untuk berbagi pengalaman, wawasan, dan perjalanan. Kegiatan ini menjadi kesempatan yang sangat berharga bagi mahasiswa untuk memperoleh gambaran nyata bagaimana ilmu yang dipelajari di bangku kuliah dapat diterapkan di dunia industri, khususnya pada sektor ketenagalistrikan dan penelitian. Di era perkembangan teknologi yang semakin pesat, seorang lulusan teknik elektro tidak hanya dituntut memiliki kompetensi akademik yang baik, tetapi juga kemampuan beradaptasi, berpikir kritis, berinovasi, serta memahami kebutuhan dunia kerja. Melalui webinar ini, kami berharap mahasiswa dapat memperoleh inspirasi mengenai pengembangan karir, pentingnya riset, serta peluang kontribusi dalam industri energi dan kelistrikan di tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Saya juga mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bu Rindi Wulandari yang memfasilitasi pada kegiatan webinar kali ini. Mudah-mudahan ya, semoga kegiatan seperti ini dapat terus dilaksanakan sebagai sarana pengembangan wawasan, jejaring profesional, dan peningkatan kompetensi mahasiswa. Kepada seluruh peserta, manfaatkan kesempatan ini sebaik-baiknya, dengarkan pengalaman yang dibagikan oleh narasumber, aktiflah berdiskusi, dan jadikan kegiatan ini menjadi inovasi untuk terus belajar dan mempersiapkan diri menghadapi tantangan dunia profesional di masa depan. Akhir kata, saya mengucapkan selamat mengikuti webinar. Semoga kegiatan ini memberikan manfaat yang besar bagi kita semua. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, terima kasih kepada Bapak Taryo STMT atas sambutannya.
Izin Bapak Ibu untuk bisa mengaktifkan kamera. Satu, ini ada 3 slide. 1, 2, 3. Tahan nafas dulu. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Satu lagi. 1, 2, 3. Terima kasih. Saya kembalikan kepada Zu.
Baik, berlanjut pada sesi berikutnya. Kini tibalah kita pada acara inti, yaitu pemaparan materi. Narasumber kita pada hari ini adalah Bapak Saksre, yang merupakan lulusan Master's Degree in Energy Technology and Management Engineering dari Institute of Technology of Cambodia, ITC, dan sekarang bekerja sebagai Distribution Network Engineer UV System di Departemen OBEC Keam Branch Business and Distribution Unit Electricity 2 Combat. Beliau memiliki pengalaman dalam bidang energi, penelitian, serta dunia industri yang akan dibagikan kepada kita melalui tema My Journey from Academia to Industry Experience and EDC and in Research. Sesi ini akan dipandu oleh Ibu Rindi Wulandari, SST MSI, sebagai moderator, dan melalui sesi ini juga kita akan belajar mengenai tantangan, pengalaman, dan peluang yang dapat menjadi inspirasi dalam mempersiapkan karir profesional maupun akademik di masa depan. Kepada Ibu Rindi Wulandari, SST MSI, saya persilakan untuk mengambil alih sebagai moderator.
Okay, baik. Thank you for Miss Frisanti for the introduction. Hello, Brother Sak. Here,
Hello, Bang.
we get my friend too, Mr. Ari and Mr. Wahyu. You can say hi first. They are lecture two in program studi electrical engineering in my campus. Halo Pak Ari, Pak Wahyu, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I will thank you, participant, for joining today's webinar. My name is Rindi Wulandari and I will be moderating this session. Before we begin, I would like to briefly introduce our speaker today, Mr. Saksre. Mr. Sak is currently working as distribution network engineer specialist in low voltage system at Electricity du Cambodge, the national electricity utility of Cambodia. Maybe in Indonesia we call it PLN, Perusahaan Listrik Negara. He has been working in power sector since 2017. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and has extensive experience in distribution network operations, maintenance, and expansion planning and technical problem solving. In addition to his professional career, Mr. Sak recently completed his master degree in energy technology and management engineering from the Institute of Technology of Cambodia. His research interests include renewable energy integration, smart grid, power system optimization, and distribution network protection. What makes today's session particularly interesting is that Mr. Sak has experience in both industry and research. Therefore, he can provide valuable perspective on how academic knowledge can be applied to solve real-world engineering challenges. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Sak. The floor is yours, brother. Are you share screen or from me?
I think you can share as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, the slide has on screen or no?
Okay, I see, I see.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Sak, the floor is yours.
Okay, without further delay, I would like to say good morning and a high respect to Mr. Tayo, head of the program, lecturers, and especially the other participants that are the Sister in the students. Again, hello and good morning again. So, my name is Satsray, and nowadays I'm currently work at EDC as a distribution network engineer, and particularly LV systems. In 2025, I just finished master degree in ETM. We can say that energy, technology, and management at ETC. And thank you again for Sister Rindy for your invitations. And this is because of the I would like to say I would like to jump back in the last month, right? That we went to join the conference at Malaysia. Okay, so so now I would like to jump to our topic. So far, I just would like to share the journey that, as I know the title, the journey from academia to industries. In fact, I don't know, I don't have much experience, but I just tell and share, especially to undergraduate students, what I have done in the industries, especially at EDC and as well as in research. Research, I focus on the school experience from master degree. Um, okay, go to next slide.
Okay.
Okay, so far, for this content, I just raised up, and my goal is to identify the between academic and the industry we call real world problems. Uh, and my important point is that our discussion is more interesting than what I have arranged for my presentation, right? So one, I would like to talk about the energy sectors in Cambodia. I will tell you about what is EDC, my a little bit, not too much experience at EDC, my research journey, and yes, together. And at the last, we will get the lesson learned together and some recommendation from me, maybe from other lecturers here to our graduate student, undergraduate students. Okay, so we can move to the next. This is the whole. I can say that the whole supplies electricity or energies in Cambodia. This picture in Khmer, but I can explain you in English. We can say that this is the electricity authority of Cambodia. It is one of the, we can say that the organization that controls the law, control the standard of the electricity in Cambodia. After that, ADC is the operators. You say that. So he is the EAC. They try to control the law. They like the law of renewable energy that integrate to the grids like LV, MV, and HV. How to and what the criteria or regulations. This organization will provide the customers and as well as the EDC. So we back to the figures. It is almost 19 0.91% in Cambodia that the households or the village that almost has the electricities. And for the setting, you can see the small plate that remark as the purple certain village is still has no electricity because most of this village are on the waters. It's mean like they live on the waters. So we are difficult to to bear the construction to expand the grids like poles or conductor, so on, LV, MV, or HV, so on. So that's why this villages that are on the waters, they use, we can say that solar rooftop standalone. Yes, instead of the power grid from EDC directly. So to sum up, for 19.91 zeros that has the electricity in Cambodia, and around a small amount of the households that are not connected. The reason, as I told you earlier. Okay, and the next we will talk about the different sources of power for Cambodia. It means that the source of our power supply in Cambodia, we have two categories, main categories. One is about the power sources directly connected to national grid. This one, the EDC. The EDC try to you can say invest to create more power plants to support their own customers, their own yes demand. So for our directly connected to the national grid, there are renewable energy, such as hydropowers is the main the main power plants in Cambodia. After that, solar power. There are two solar power stations and rooftop solar power installations. You may know this, right? And also biomass power. One more for wind power projects in Cambodia under developed. Yes, under developed yet. There are two, as I know, there are two wind power projects that are developed, maybe will initiate or will be used or connected to the national grid around maybe in 2027 or 2028. I'm not clear with this, but maybe next year's. And for non-renewable energy, we have coal and sugar oils. We still use coal and sugar oils. For one more thing is about the import power sources from neighboring countries, but it is the less energies that we support from our neighbor countries. I think that most of the world, even though the modern countries such as America, right, French or other country in Europe, they also import electricity as well, I think. So we also import as well from Vietnam and Laos, but it's a small amount of energy power. It's not too much because we can say that we almost independent to supply our energy to in our countries. Yes. And so far for the energy sectors, I think that it's not only Cambodia, it may be in Indonesia, maybe in the Asian countries or the countries. We still challenge, I think we still challenge we face with the increasing power demand, right? Power demand will increase from day by day, from month by month, and especially from year by year, right? And the renewable energy reliability. I would like to talk about the our country concepts in Cambodia. Now, renewable energy is popular in my countries, but it's not 100% that allow for customer to integrate with the national grid. Okay, we can discuss later. And grid stability, protection, coordination, and especially rural electrifications, that we try to connect the electricity to the rural electrification as much as we can. As I told you earlier, for the villages that are we can say that live on the water, we difficult to build the constructions like pole, like conductors or a transformer. It is difficult to install. So far, it's the this is our main concern as well. And future challenges, we try to, I think that not me, I think say policy government try to adopt our grids from traditional to smart grid development, energy storage systems. You may know energy storage system, right? So in Cambodia right now, it's not popular, yes, because of the renewable energy. Now ADB cooperate with ADC that support to to build or to put the energy storage system at Posat province around 1,000 megawatt now
Yeah.
energy. Yes.
Like
So
base,
it okay.
like base maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So solar farm at Posat, and this is the support of ADB as well, and cooperate with EDC to install the energy storage, and it is very expensive.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's very so expensive. Yeah.
yes. And future Shillong we try to reduce
Yeah.
carbon reductions. It's mean like we try to reduce greenhouse gases to help our weathers, right? Because now it's too hot, so that's why we adapt ourselves to renewable energy power supply. And okay, we can go to the next slides. I think I suppose most of you I so far this topic I would like to prepare for our undergraduate student. So maybe you can ask me later if I present it's not interesting for you. We can discuss later. But it is the main concept in power supply. So far, I think you are in power sector, right? So we jump out to what is EDC. EDC, like Sister Rindy, your lecturer, talked earlier. Electric. Sorry, EDC. EDC stand for electricity. The Cambridge. It is a French. It is French. So I maybe cannot pronounce good as well. And normally here we call EDC as
Yeah,
French.
that's it. Yeah.
Yes, but we
EDC is
can
okay.
yeah we can say in English National Electricity Utility of Cambodia. It's the main company that serves the service of electricity in Cambodia. So its responsibilities is, yes, there are many main categories like power transmissions, power distributions. I remark as the power transmission as red because I'm in this department, distribution. Customer electricity supply, system operation and maintenance, and network developments. So far, we can say in short that EDC is to provide reliable, efficiencies, and sustainability service throughout Cambodia. Make sure that all the customer has the electricity. Yes, this is our responsibility. Okay, now we go next slide. So you may know the energy sector in Cambodia. You know about the EDC. So now I would like to share about my experiences relevant to EDC that I worked in LV Systems around from 2019 to 2026, around 7 years. 7 year already with LV Systems. But I focus only the grid, not LV System, not in the building, not in the building. Maybe I don't know much. I just focus on the grid, right? That I remark as a distribution network engineer. So our responsibility, we try to yes, make sure the distribution network operation is good. The customers make sure that they have enough electricity. Yes, network expansion support, reliability improvement, as well as the technical problem solving. This is the my experience, my responsibility in EDCs. And so far, I work with the real distribution networks, LV Systems. The voltage in my country is around 220 volts to 200, sorry, for monophase. And for three phase, 424 volts in three phase.
Preface.
Yes, request. And solving practical engineering problems like, for example, under or over voltage when there is a lot of EVs in the LV system, in LV networks. and coordinating with the different departments. We are not only work with our own departments. We need to cooperate with we can say that other departments like we can say the ministry. We can say the ministries. We need to cooperate. Like for example, when the demand increase, the power demand increase, we try to supply more source, right?
Yeah.
So far we need to find a location to install a power plant, to install a transformer, and we need to cooperate with the I can say the authority of the village. I don't know how to say it in English.
Okay.
And yet,
You just find the
yes,
location for new source, right?
yes. So far we need to cooperate with them. And also supporting customer electricity service. Yes, it is the man. It is the money, because when the customer have enough electricity, so EDC can earn the income as well. Yes, and pay back for my salaries. Simple.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
Okay. So before we jump out to our, we can say that academia in university or our research. So far, if we work directly with the grids like this, I just focus on my experience with the grids like this, like MV or LV distribution system. We may know the challenges that we can observe. So far, growing electricity demand is the major concern that we face. So every month, every day, the customer need more electricity. They install, like, for example, they install like the refrigerators, they install the air conditioners, especially in hot summer like this. Yes, the electricity grow, we can see significantly. We try to fetch, and the increasing adaptation of electric vehicles. I would like to talk about the war of Iran and America, USA. They start EVs, electric vehicles in my country start increasing significantly, especially the cars. So we try to solve this problem. Nowadays, I talk with you, I still solve this problem as well. What is the solution when the EVs integrate, when we can say that when the EV plug in, so the voltage will under 20 low voltage, 220 volts, the charge will work, for example. So the voltage is under like 215 to 19, no works. So we try to solve it, at least the voltage is 220 volts for EVs. So yes, so for example, if you have one EVs, maybe no problems, but if you have 10, one EVs for one person, but 10 EVs charging at the same time, how can you solve it? So this is very difficult, and this is the main challenging right now. Okay, and for the renewable energy integrated, yes, we will face for the loads, voltage up and down, distribution level reliability, yes, and future grid modernization. So far, it should be our planning for grid modernization. So from the experience, I think that it is the problem that we can transform it to our research, that when the electricity grows, we are a student, we are an engineer, a researcher, how can we improve this to be reliability, right? You will optimize something to put more sources, a transformer or something else to support it. Okay. And how can renewable energy be integrated safely? So far, our government, our organization say that renewable energy is very important. This is the major sources that reduce carbon dioxide and cell costs. But if we don't have the technology or enough strategy to control it that integrate to the LV or MV distribution, so how could it be safe, right?
Yeah, because the stability, the renewable energy is so fluctuative, right?
Yes. So that's why they need all of you, especially me, our lecturers, especially for our undergraduate, need to adapt it to yourself that this is the technology. This is the yes, it's technology never wet us. Okay.
Mhm.
And how could future power system operate? Do you want to see our system in traditional, or do you want to see our system more modern? Because we can say that smart grids, right? Yeah. As I wrote a future grid modernization at the left, right? We would like to adapt ourselves to like this. But the problem is that maybe not only the technology, not only the human resource, but it's about the money, budget.
Yeah.
Honestly, budget is very important.
Yeah.
We need to know that. But we imagine that if we have the budget, we have enough money to operate it, to build it. So where is our human resource,
Mhm.
right? So that's why we need to be prepared. Okay,
Yeah.
because
Be rich
okay,
country.
okay. We can go to the next slide.
Okay.
Okay. So far, this is from honestly from my research areas in master degrees, and as I known when we when we are in the class. I used to have some experience on renewable energy integrations. Maybe sister really know it well, right? Because you
Mm.
join, you always join the course that relevant to renewable energy. And a little bit unit commitment, economy dispatch, smart grids. Especially my thesis focus on power system optimizations, Volva optimizations, network reconfigurations, etc. I work, I research on MV distribution, not LV distribution, even though I work reality in LV distributions, and a protection of distribution networks with high renewable energy. Okay. So far, the tool I use MATLAB, Dixieland Power Factory, Python, so on. One more important is scientific, yes, literature review. Should know this. Okay. Lesson learned. Based on my experience, I think that in the real work currently at EDC, I think that industry taught me that engineering is a teamwork. Even though you are smart, you are clever, you need to have a good teamwork. You need to adapt yourself with a team, not alone. This is very important. And one more is the communications is the major important as well. If you are only the technicals, you have no communication, how can you promote at the work, right? So far, technical is one more, but communication is very, very important. Yeah, and practical experience matters. I think it is not. Yes, when we work, we will have the experience. Okay, and for research, we can notice that when we are studying, we need to use our critical thinking. Critical thinking means you try to think deeply. You try to think. Maybe sometimes you just sit alone, right? If you are research, you just go to collect data and then you sit alone. Maybe someone think that you are the introvert persons.
Mhm.
This is in research. And continuous learning concepts. We need to have the mindset that we try to, yes, we need to be a person who love learning. So continuous learning is very important. And patience and persistence. Yes, sometimes the researchers or sometimes you are do the assignment of your lecturers. Maybe you cannot sleep at night at all, right? So very important. So this is the key that I remarked that industry identifies problems, but research develops solutions. So far, when we work in the practical sense, we meet a lot of problems, and after that, we can bring it to our research industries. We can work in group. We can discuss our advisors for our thesis, defense, so on, as well as our own as well. We can notice the problems and we can research our own as well. Okay, sister, you can. This is just my recommendation for undergraduate, not for lecturers. Sorry, for only undergraduates. Before before we become an engineer, electrical engineer, we need to know, the power systems. Not much, but we just know the concept of power systems. Yes, now renewable energy and some tools we can use so far, MATLAB, Python, and data analysis. I can say that in the future, when you work, you can know at that time, that's okay. And artificial intelligence, AI. Now AI very interesting, right? We
Yeah.
can know a little bit. We can know from now, really to know it. And for the professional skills, yes, like English communications, like my English is not good, so I try to improve from day by day because it is not my mother tongue, right?
Yeah.
I can speak my well, but English not so good. Maybe some of you listen to me right now. What is he talking about?
Okay.
And as well as presentation skills. Yes, we need to help teamwork as I talked earlier, and lifelong learning. Yes, the concept that we love learning, we need to help. Even though we are grow older, even though we are not the student anymore, but we can learn outside the schools, especially when we work, we face a lot of challenges, the problems. So we we try to keep our concept that lifelong learning, try to find a solution. Even though we are another industrials, like me in energy sectors, but most of you so far now you are in energy sector, but when you work, maybe not guarantee you are still in these sectors. Maybe you move to another, but this is the main concept that we try to keep our mind in lifelong learning. And I put one sentence: what you learn today in university can become the solution to a real world problem tomorrow. Yes, this is very important because university give us the fundamentals, give us everything, but the real problem when you work, you will face, and you will get, oh, what I can learn, I can apply it. Yes, I think that's all from me. This is the time to ask question and discuss. I think it is the major session, right? My present is maybe not interesting as I told you earlier.
It's okay.
Okay.
This is so interesting to know about electricity in Cambodia. I think, but I would two participant to ask question first before I ask. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Okay, thank you so much, brother, for your insightful presentations. From today's session, we learn about the Cambodia's electricity sector. That I learned is one message is industry identifies problems and research develop solution, right? Okay. Now, we will move to the question and answer session to my friends and my student. Maybe you can raise hand, use the virtual raise hand, or type the question in the chat box. Okay. Deo, yeah. Hello, Deo.
Yeah.
Okay, you can talk.
So first, I wanted to say that I'm sorry I couldn't show my cameras. There's something wrong with it. And
Okay.
let me introduce myself. My name is Diomipto Raisa, and I'm from Bekasi.
Okay.
And I want to ask you a question: how can Cambodia increase the share of renewable energy and reduce its dependence on imported electricity? So Cambodia imported electricity from Vietnam and Laos, right? And I just want
Yes.
to ask, and I just want to ask that how reduce its dependence on them.
Okay, thank you for your questions.
Yes.
Your question is that how can we reduce the importing energy from other country? Am I correct, right?
Yeah.
So far, right now in Cambodia, try to build our independent sources like solar power. We have nearly 500 megawatt, and our main energy supply is hydropower. And now we also build we call pure waste at near Phnom Penh cities around factory around 700 megawatt as well to make up. And one more about the I forgot the source, very important, that is the but not energized yet. You can say that gas it's not something.
Natural gas or
Yeah, natural
natural
gas.
gas.
Natural
Okay.
gas.
Hmm.
It is around 700 megawatt as well to support our to support the energy in our countries. So we try to reuse. In fact, in 2025, we import not only Vietnam and Laos, we also import from Thailand. But when we have the agreement with Thailand, we try to disconnect from the Thailand and we just import from Laos and Vietnam. As I told you earlier, not we sometimes the contractors, the contractor of the country, it international connections. Yeah, international connections. Even though we want to independent right now, but it still has some contraction with them as well. Contract contractor, right? Contractor with them as well.
Oh.
But so far, if we can say that now we can now we if we want to disconnect from their countries, I think Laos is okay, but Vietnam is the not possible yet. Yes. But to your questions, we try to build our trust in our country as well. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I will maybe addition the question about the import electricity. So you have contract international with the Viet and Thailand, right?
2016 only Laos and Vietnam. No,
Oh yeah, Laos,
Thailand.
sorry. Laos and Vietnam. So Cambodia also export the electricity to the country or just import? Maybe sometimes are you oversupply?
For the export now, no, but as I know, EDC and ESA try to export the renewable energy
Yeah, okay.
to Singapore.
Oh
To
yeah,
Singapore, but the construction is under the water, under the sea, so it spend much costs. So I don't know what is the plan going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is in the plan. Try to export the renewable energy sources to
Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to point out in Cambodia, renewable energy is the major important sectors in Cambodia.
This is the main source.
Yes.
Okay, so how the percentage of the non-renewable, like for coal or fuel oil?
Oh, this is SMFS 1995 and 93 to 95 overall. For non-renewable energy, maybe around now, it's nearly 35% that we 35% that we use coal and fuel oil. And another we import, and another one we depend on the renewable energy sources. This we don't count the neutral gas and also wind power that we try to energize next year as well.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, Galih. Can you introduce yourself first? Okay. Perkenalkan diri dulu.
Hi everyone. My
Halo.
name is Galih Permana. I'm from
Suaranya
Kuningan.
terlalu kecil.
Tes halo.
Kurang
Sebentar.
kurang ya. Oke.
Again, brother, I cannot hear.
You can hear her voice?
Yeah,
His voice? Okay.
Hello, tes tes.
Oke,
Hello,
coba.
hello.
Hello everyone. My name is Gali Permana. I'm from Kuningan, and I want to ask a question, Mr. Saksray. From your
Okay.
experience, what is the most critical skill or mindset shift needed to turn a complex operational problem at EDC and at EDC into structured research question?
Could you just repeat your question again?
Uh, can you tell me what is the most critical skill or mindset shift needed to
Mm-hmm.
turn a complex operational problem at EDC?
Do you have some maybe skill or tips to uh, to to
At EDC,
menyelesaikan
right?
ya ya edisi at your job at your work in edisi.
The main concept.
Maybe you find one a big problem and what do you what do you do and how to how to solve it? Maybe gitu ya Gali.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Iya, Bu, ya, Bu.
At EDC, as always system operator, I think the most challenging is voltage. So far, sometimes voltage up, we can voltage up and down, right?
Ya
Voltage
ya
up and down. And now the big concern is about the electric vehicles that
EV, right?
integrate, yes, that
Okay.
integrate to the LV systems. Not
Hmm.
integrate when the EV charging
EV
starts,
charging.
so the voltage will down. So far it is the main concern as well. So we can bring it out to research more or um to 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 find a solution how to solve it. For me, I think the main concept as the real world, we can say that practical. We try to understand clearly about the problems that we face. It is maybe the technical, right?
Hmm.
What is the solutions? So that is we try to find the problems and then we can find the solutions. As I told you, the main concept of the not even in the research, not even in the school or in the practical sense, we need to be ready and also keep our mindset that it is a lessons everywhere. So you can learn every time.
Okay.
I think this is hit the point for Gali Pamana. It is the right answer for your questions.
Gali, apakah itu menjawab?
Yes, yes.
Maybe I
Ah,
translate to Indonesia.
okay, thank you.
Mungkin yang saya tangkap tadi dari Sak itu bilang pada saat charger EV apa charger untuk mobil listrik ya, di mana dia menggunakan tegangan ya, tegangan pada tegangan tertentu, pada nilai tertentu, tapi pada saat EV datang itu dia membutuhkan suplai tegangan yang di bawahnya gitu. Jadi itu salah satu apa permasalahannya adalah bagaimana menurunkan eh, apa gimana caranya di tegangan itu bisa masuk ke EV gitu dengan tegangan yang ada di jaringan yang Kamboja punya gitu. Itu salah satu tantangannya yang sedang dihadapi sekarang. Mungkin itu Galih. Oke, yang lain ada yang mau menambahkan? Mungkin Pak Taryo, Pak Ari, Bu Juju, Pak Wahyu.
Mungkin dosen-dosen yang lain. Ini ada Bu Zahra juga Bu di sini. Ada
Oh
Pak
ada
Ilman
ya,
juga.
halo,
Ya.
halo Bapak Ibu. Atau Pak Taryo mungkin mau sharing yang terkait tadi, apakah terjadi juga permasalahannya di Indonesia yang charger EV? Kayaknya kalau di kita nggak ada masalah ya, tegangannya sama gitu.
Betul sih, Bu. Cuma memang ini kendalanya kan kita tahu ya, Bu, di Jawa itu kan lagi ada pengurangan beban dan ini di Cirebon juga hampir tiap hari itu ada pemadaman maksimal 3 jam, 4 jam. Saya tanyakan yang di Kamboja itu yang kita berdiri sendiri menggunakan batu bara PLTU sering ada pemadaman. Apakah di Kamboja yang menggunakan energi baru terbarukan
Renewable ya.
renewable dengan ada sebagian impor dari negara lain tuh apakah ada efek atau ada apa ya? Ya intinya ada pemadaman atau
Ya,
tidak gitu.
intinya ada pemadaman atau enggak gitu ya.
Betul, betul, Bu.
Oke, we can translate it. Brother, hello.
Hello, hello.
Okay. In Indonesia now, we are have a problem with power outage. So many
Mhm.
apa namanya ya, power outage. How about in Cambodia with the main source in ABT? Do you have the problem about that power outage or experience a blackout maybe?
No, but if you talk about the power outage or blackout, rarely blackout.
Okay. Oh,
As I
nice.
told you, yes, we have enough power power supply
Oh, okay.
to our countries.
Oh, interesting. Katanya nggak ada pemadamannya, kita doang berarti. Aduh, gimana ya? Oke. Yang lain Bapak Ibu, ada yang mau didiskusikan? Pak Ari, Pak Bu Juju, Bu Zahra mungkin yang bidangnya ya distribusi, atau Pak Wahyu, atau teman-teman mahasiswa ada yang mau didiskusikan lagi? Yang anak power?
Ada di chat Zoom nih, Bu. Mas
Ah,
Asep.
mana sih? Bentar. Oke. Ngomong dong, Sep. Gimana sih? Oke, Mr. Sak,
Yes.
one question in chat box from Asep. This one say that good day, Mr. Sak. As an low voltage distribution engineer, what is the biggest challenge in protection coordination when integrating rooftop solar or high renewable penetration into the low voltage grid? You can read it in chat box.
Protection.
Protection
Rooftop solar.
when integrating
Okay.
rooftop solar.
As if I talk about the protection, so far in Cambodia advanced controls, we done we can say that we have not enough ability to install the advanced control yet. But for the rooftop solar, EAC or EDC do not allow the customer to integrate into the national grid as well right now. They just have their own. So for the protections, maybe I missed this point. Sorry. So far, I can say that now they use the smart inverter when to try control the power sources from the solars that not in order to allow the voltage in the grid up and down. So far in the rank that we can acceptable. Yes.
Alhamdulillah udah sehat.
Asep menjawab? Jawab nggak?
Sorry for the question because I'm not specialized in protection.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. But in Cambodia use inverter control, right?
Yes.
To keep the stability in range voltage, and then
Yes.
From the integrating rooftop solar, you can say that the EDC not allow to installation in rooftop solar, right?
Yes.
So the people have a rooftop solar just install alone
their own
and
place. Yeah, their own place.
Okay.
Okay, like the regulation in Cambodia, the rooftop solar
Mhm.
If for example, if your home have enough
Mm.
ability to install
Mhm.
around 10 kilowatts or 100 kilowatts, you
Mhm.
need to tell the EDC or EACs that they allow you to install or not, because they already set the regulations.
Okay.
So for 100 kilowatt of solar generations, you need to pay the charge. They call capacity charge for EDC as well.
Okay.
We can
We
say
need to
that
pay, right?
yes,
Okay.
like this. If you install, you may know standalone solar, right?
Mhm.
Like you are far away from the national grid and you install, you
Mhm.
use only your own. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But when you bring, but at the same time you also use the EDC service, you are not allowed to install the rooftop solars. So if
Okay.
you install, it's just the small amount of the rooftop solars. Right now, the regulation in Cambodia.
Okay. We can sell the electricity to ADC
No,
from my no.
no.
Okay.
This is relevant to the economic as well.
Okay,
As the developing countries, we try
yeah,
to invest many infrastructures. So when the customers sell
yeah.
back, so how can you get income, right?
Okay,
So
I know.
now EDC no, but the future maybe. Yes.
Oke, Asep, gimana? Mau buat transfer? Mana Asep nih? Asep, it's clear? Nggak ada ya? Oke deh. Kalau tidak ada. Oke, next question. Maybe two question more.
Where MC? Where's the question from MC?
Ah,
Where is our MC? The question from MC.
Oke. What? What the question?
No, your MC, right? That speak in the only Indonesian. Your student.
Okay, any question? Any other question? Eh, untuk Bapak Ibu dosen, apakah ada yang mau didiskusikan? Barangkali atau mau sharing terkait dengan pengalamannya?
Ada satu lagi nih Bu, di kolom chat.
Oh iya, kok saya mah nggak kebaca ya Pak? Bentar Pak, maaf Pak. Siapa itu Asus?
Asus, Susan.
Asus. Saya Lenovo. Okay. Okay, Mr. Sak, one more question. I don't know. This is the name is Asus. Mana? What are some key challenge faced by the distribution network?
In Cambodia.
Yeah.
So far right now in Cambodia, the main concerns, as I told you, I still say the electric vehicles, EVs, it is the most challenging in Cambodia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because we try to show it so far when it's increased repeatedly, so it will affect the LV systems. After LV system, we'll face to MV system as well. So it is a challenges. For the construction in Cambodia now, I think it's okay. It's not good. It's not best, but I think I can say that acceptable. Yes. And so far the technology, the how to install based on the standard is so far is okay. Yes.
Oh, oke. Oke, jawabannya sama dengan yang tadi berarti ya terkait dengan apa yang charger EV karena tegangan sama fasanya beda gitu. Oke, yang lain ada lagi? Hmm. Kayak maybe ada lagi nggak? Kalau nggak ada dari saya. Okay, maybe one last question because no more question from the participant. You say that the AI about your presentation.
Mhm.
I want to know about are you ready using AI in your daily operation or in your work? Maybe.
For
Uh,
AI, no, in daily work.
okay, maybe just
Yes,
research about that. Maybe.
yes, maybe we can apply in research.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Normally in practical sense for my current work, I just go to find the solution. Go to find the problems that we receive from the customers. What is happening? So we just go and fix. And sometimes we go and we say, oh, if it is a big problem, we discuss with our leaders and we give the solution. For AI, I propose here we just add down ourselves in the research
Okay.
importance. But this is my department. But for the planning, maybe other departments they use as well because it really went to the data driven, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe how to control the data, big data, maybe they use. But me right now, no. But we need to know. But no need to use it right now.
Yeah. Maybe the next step in monitoring or in planning, maybe we
Yes.
can apply AI to daily work, so
Yes.
the AI can more lebih mudah ya, more be easy for your work maybe. Okay. I think ada lagi nggak? Itu apa yang di chat box? Udah ya, oke. Pak Taryo mungkin diakhiri mungkin ya. Maksudnya sudah ya, Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman sudah tidak ada yang ingin ditanyakan lagi.
Ini Bu Rindi,
Pak.
nanti minta Mr. Sek untuk memilih 3 pertanyaan
Oh
terbaik.
iya.
Nah, nanti dapat door prize, Pak.
Oke. Brother Sak,
Yes.
you can choose the 3 best question from our student. I not include ya. You can
Choose again. Choose
you
the
can
best 3 questions.
ya best 3 question tadi Gali, Deo, Asep, and Asus. Asus siapa sih? Asus and siapa lagi udah ya, Pak?
Udah.
Okay. You can choose 3 best questions, so they get a prize from Mr. Tario.
Sorry. For that question, you wrote or not? Because I don't wrote it.
Huh?
Their questions you already wrote because I haven't written it.
Oh,
I have my
forget
own
to.
question.
I'm forget to. Okay. Deo is about the import electricity, and Gali is about the apa Gali tadi? Challenging in distribution ya, kalau nggak salah. The challenging in distribution in EDC. Asep is about what the maaf ya ini. Mana sih Asep?
Proteksi, Bu.
Protection coordination with integrating rooftop solar, and then Asus is about challenging in distribution network in Cambodia. You can choose 3.
How about choose all?
Yeah. Mr. Taryo, can you? Yeah, choose all is the best.
Because
How about that, Mr. Taryo?
they are good questions.
Hanya 3, Bu.
Okay, just
Only 3.
Mr. Taryo said just 3.
Okay. I will choose the question that really when the import the electricity to Cambodia.
Okay.
but I forgot the name.
Okay, this is
Sorry,
Deo
sorry.
Deo.
Okay, and another one,
Thanks, sir.
it would be relevant to the challenges in distribution network. Whose questions? Could you check again?
Gali.
Okay. Two? One
Three,
more,
one
right?
more. Maybe one more. One more.
One more.
Mhm.
So far protections.
Oh, Asep.
Okay, Asep. About integrating solar rooftop, right?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations for all. Okay, Deo, Gali, and Asep. Congratulations for the best question, and thank you for your question and attention. Thank you to everyone too for engaging discussion. Before we conclude, let's give a warm virtual round applause. Tepuk tangan virtual. Gimana sih tepuk tangannya ya? Saya juga nggak tahu lagi nih. Nggak ada lagi. Oke lah. We can give applause to Mr. Saksray. Today's session has shown us how academic learning and industry experience can complement each other in developing innovative solutions for future power system. On behalf of the Electrical Engineering Study Program and Electrical Engineering Student Association of Universitas Swadaya Gunung Jati, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Sak for his time and valuable contribution. We would also like to thank all participants for joining and actively participating in today's webinar. We hope to see you again in future event. Thank you, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Saya kembalikan ke MC. Terima kasih banyak.
Baik, terima kasih kepada Ibu Rindi yang telah moderatori. Untuk 3 penanya terbaik yang tadi, nanti di hari Senin boleh di hari Selasa, di hari Selasa boleh ke Prodi untuk mengambil door prize-nya. Oke. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada Bapak Saksray atas materi yang sangat menarik dan inspiratif. Selanjutnya kita akan memasuki sesi penutup. Saya ulangi, kami ucapkan terima kasih yang sebesar-besarnya kepada Bapak Saksray atas kesediaannya menjadi narasumber dalam webinar ini. Sebelum acara ditutup, saya mengingatkan kembali untuk melakukan absensi yang sudah dia kirim di chat box, dikarenakan akan mendapatkan sertifikat partisipasi. Oke. Baik, sebelumnya semoga ilmu dan pengalaman yang telah diberikan dapat memberikan manfaat serta motivasi bagi kita semua dalam mengembangkan diri, baik di dunia akademik maupun industri. Saya Prisanti selaku MC, mohon maaf apabila terdapat kekurangan dalam memandu acara. Akhir kata, Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa pada
Waalaikumsalam.
kegiatan berikutnya.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
brothers.
Mr. Sak.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Sister
Thank you.
Rinde.
Thank you, Mister.
Thank you, Mister, for choosing me.
Thank you.
Go to Indonesia, Mister.
Okay, maybe we can leave this room. Thank you so
Okay,
much
okay.
for
Thank you.
all participants and
Thank
Mr.
you.